Hello YouTube! In this series we're gonna start creating servers and clients, so at the end of the day we can create very simple but still working chat application using for example Telnet. Sure, we're gonna create custom clients, but for start we will deal with Telnet as a client. But before that we're gonna create a server. Right, so let's go there. We're gonna use a socket module, so of course we must in Python import that module socket, and message is something that we are going to send to our clients the same moment when they connect to our machine. So let's say meeting at 14 o'clock, office 279 or something like that. So after that we will define IP of our host. When we are dealing with networks, of course we must pay attention about IPs and port numbers. So in my case, at the moment this is my IP, hopefully if it didn't change, and also port. So choose something higher than 1024 because those ports are reserved basically. So everything after that number is great. So let's just experiment with 5431. Sure, why not? After that we need to do preparation. So S is a kind of handle for IP version 4 TCP type of connection. Okay, so when you're creating servers you must specify IP, port, and type of connection, TCP or UDP. TCP means direct connection where network is trying to get packets as they are to the other side with error checking. Okay, so it's simple explanation but still it's correct. So socket module, socket, and here on this line you must type for socket and then socket. Let me explain. So socket.af inet, you will find this in documentation often and in examples. So this stands for IP version 4, and then again we will use sock stream, which means TCP type of connection. So always you must set these things before everything else. Okay, there is no purpose in creating servers if you don't define port and type of connection. After that we must combine host and port by binding it with each other, let's say. So S, okay, always copy paste that handle for sockets down there. So S dot bind, and this is typo basically. Oops. So on the left side you will type your host, and on the right side port. Sure, you can hard code things here, but it's nice to have it at the top of your script. So after that you can type s.listen, and now your server is ready to accept the connections. But here's the question: what's gonna happen? What will happen? What's the purpose of this server? It must send this message to clients. So how to do that? Well, con is a handle for actual connection, and every connection do have remote part. So I'm gonna use other here. So this is place of originator of remote connection, so other party basically. So we need to say .s.accept. So accept the connection from this address, and then we're gonna print something like in a server screen like connection from that specific remote address, and after that we must actually send something there. So in this case this is a message which is in this case hard coded, but sure, it can be something dynamic. It can be result of some log or status message from some kind of electronic devices, something like that. But this is just a simple server. So yeah, let's proceed. So how to send stuff? Well, we're gonna send everything and we need to encode that message. You cannot just send this as a text because this is networking type of connection, so you must encode this stuff. Encode. And yep, so that's pretty much it. Now I'm gonna run this module and see here, every time when I try to connect, you will see here the status messages. And sure, we can get additional print lines like this to explain what our code is doing, but for simplicity reasons, let's just try to hook to this server. So where is my control panel? I mean command prompt. So we're gonna use telnet here to get into our system. So telnet IP, which is localhost, but yeah, and here you need to type 54321 as a port and enter, and there you go. So immediately when we do this, you'll have status message and the message is delivered, and that's about it. So what will happen when I press enter here? Pretty much nothing, because this is the only message that we are sending to client in this case. So how to cancel this connection? Well, press Ctrl C and observe what's gonna happen. Pretty much nothing. Ctrl Z, again nothing, because telnet is a kind of stubborn client and protocol. So what you can do is just get out from here. Okay, and let's actually try to get into the same server a couple of times to see what's gonna happen. Okay, so yeah, we can arrange this like that. Telnet IP of my system, port, and also here, and don't forget port. So this is kind of preparation. So let's press enter, and nothing happens in this moment. What's gonna happen here? Nothing's gonna happen. Why? Because the job is done the first time when you try to get to your server. So the purpose of this is just to send one message to first client, and if you try to get out from here with Ctrl C or Z, still you can't do that. So as I said, this is really rudimentary server with the job of sending just one thing in the outside world. Okay, so yeah, let's improve this a little bit better. Like here we can type comments like local data, local IP data, and then down there we're gonna print here like preparation for connection. Now reason is when you run your system, you want to see something going on a screen. So of course we don't do any kind of complicated and advanced error checking here with try and catch block, but this is fine. This is just beginning. Now here we're gonna type, let's say, a listening, server listening, and down there we're gonna say, yeah, we already have something, and here we can type also a sending message, something like that. Who cares? But it's nice to have something on a screen to check what's going on. Okay, so yep, that's pretty much it. Let's run it again. There you go. See, you have something. And now let's go to DOS or whatever you have, and let's type telnet IP and port. Don't forget port if you are using custom one, and enter, and there you go. So our message is sent, we have connection, when we have remote port, and so on. So let's explain one more time what this little script do, and that will be it for this tutorial. And in next tutorials there will be plenty of them dedicated for sockets. We're gonna explain everything, don't worry. Okay, so every time when you're working with networks, you must import socket module. If job of your script is send hard-coded messages, you need to define that here. This is just one line, but it can be plenty of messages, one after another. So down there, you can just say connection send all, first message, second message, and so on. So after defining message, the job of the script, you must define your localhost IP here and also port. After you are done with that, don't forget on one line to use 4-time sockets. I do know that's a lot of type, it's kind of boring, but it's something you must do. The reason is why we have this line is combined result of this into S. I'm just using S here, so you can use that kind of handle or shortcut for next operations. So AFINet means IP version 4 and SOCK3 means TCP type of connection. Why we need to bind IP with the port? So you can hard code it right here, you can hard code it here, or you can grab it from file, from MySQL database, from, I don't know, you can grab it from keyboard, something like that. So when we are done, we must listen for connections. That's the whole purpose of server. When we get the connection and we are using that accept here to get connections, we are separating the results of this into two parts. The con is actual connection right now, and in that connection there must be remote IP address, remote address. So we need that. Why? Because we must have target to send our message there. Okay, so we can do that in most cases with send all, and just imagine that whatever is here, how not important how long that thing is, it will be packed in a networking type of connection using encode. So I'm using really simple terminology here for beginners, but at the end of the day, that's pretty much it. So just note that no matter what you do, the moment when you change stuff, you must run your module again, because right now there is no any kind of socket server reloading. So every time when you change, when you're experimenting, don't forget to run this thing again. Okay, it happens to me many times. I'm doing changes and I'm wondering what's happening with my connection, and I just didn't reload manually the stuff. So yep, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and we're gonna do something fancy with this server in the next tutorial. Like, we will accept multiple connections automatically, so that our Telnet client is not waiting, it's not blocked. So it's not blocked, okay, so we can grab things from multiple clients. And then after that, we're gonna create clients that will send stuff to server, so server will do something with it and it will return the results. But yeah, that's for future videos. Anyway, thank you for watching. As always, see you next tutorial.